Hey guys, it's Gabby and today we're gonna do a really cool video. It's 20 things I learned before 20. I turned 20 a couple months ago and I've actually had this video in my notes app and I've been noting things in this video in my notes app for almost a full year now, and I have not filmed this video and I've been 20 for like 2 months. So we're finally getting around to filming it. Woohoo. So the very first thing actually is about diets and dieting. It is eat whatever you want when you want. There's a fancy name for it, called intuitive eating. But as soon as I started intuitively eating, my body got so much more healthy. I felt so much more energized and I felt happy because I was eating what I wanted. And obviously, eating what you want is going to occasionally mean that you eat a lot more sweets if you have a sweet tooth. But eventually your body will want things that are healthy. The second thing is sometimes you have to be selfish. So this lesson actually came from one of my old friends. He said it slightly differently. I am not going to say that because I generally don't cuss on this channel. But it's because sometimes you cannot be a people pleaser. You cannot give everyone everything all the time. You have to learn to take care of yourself and put yourself first. So occasionally you're gonna have to be selfish. Third thing, if they want to, they will. I know this is a trend right now on TikTok. If he wanted to, he would, kind of thing. But seriously, if they wanted to, they would. It's not just for romantic relationships. It's for any effort in any friendship or any relationship in general. The next thing I learned that was a very, very useful thing that I actually learned my freshman year of college, friendships have a lifespan. You have friends for certain parts of your life, and the friendships have lifespans. They aren't gonna last forever. It's a hard lesson to learn because you want to stay friends with people, but friendships end. It's part of life. The next thing I learned actually is something I learned from therapy. Learning to love yourself is a process. And not just that, but also healing is a process. Taking care of yourself is a process. You're going to have a couple steps forward and then you're going to have a couple steps back, and you're having a couple steps forward and you're going to have a couple steps back. It's just, that's the way that it goes, because it is a process of getting to know yourself. The next thing I learned is specifically for me, that I learned through therapy. It is not your job to fix other people. It's not your job. People pleasing has always been a huge issue of mine, like forever. And it is not my job to take care of other people. It's not my job to fix everyone else. And also, a lot of people don't want to be fixed. The next thing I also learned freshman year of college, grades aren't everything. So I come from a high achieving family. So I internalized that if you are not 100%, like if you don't have 100% in a class, you are not good enough. And that is not true. It took me so long to learn this, and actually when I learned this lesson was when I stopped trying super, super hard and I started to get the grade, and I started focusing on the work instead of the grade, and my grades actually got better, which is so funny. But yeah, I learned that. The next thing I learned that it's okay to be alone. Being alone, specifically living alone, is a lesson on who you are as a person, and you need to learn how to love yourself before you let other people get to love you, and you need to know who you are. And so it's actually good to be alone. It's good to live alone. It's good to learn things about you. It's good to that is good. Next thing I learned actually is so interesting. I grew up, some of you guys watching, you know what I'm talking about because you grew up in that same town too. Part of where I went to high school, one of the places I went to high school, is a incredibly rich area, and everyone has designer bags and everyone has fancy cars and everyone takes huge vacations and things like that. And I, for the longest time, internalized that like have to buy expensive things and you have to own expensive things. And kind of recently, I started spending more of my money on experiences and less of my money on the physical stuff I own, and I got so much happier. So like, it's not like I'm not spending money, I'm just not spending money on physical things. I'm spending money on experiences. So like, I spent a lot of money to go to the Taylor Swift concert last year. 100% worth it for me. For some of my other friends, spending that kind of money on that wouldn't have been worth it. But for me, it was, because it was an experience I've always wanted. I have loved Taylor Swift for freaking ever. So like, that as an experience for me, spending ridiculous amounts of money is an experience I like. I am going to a football game with my boyfriend and his family, and I bought everyone's tickets. But that is an experience. I am spending my money on experiences rather than the physical items I own. And that is great, because the memories are worth more than, you know, a $1,000 handbag. Ooh. This is such a hard, this next one is gonna hit you guys hard probably. It hit me really hard learning it. Love can be painful and beautiful, but one has to live through the pain to see the beauty. So you, I also later also have people are in your life to teach you lessons, and these kind of combine in my brain, where certain people are put into your life to teach you something, and sometimes that is a painful lesson about you or about what you want in a partner or a future partner, or what you don't want, or, you know, things like that. And so you have to understand the pain to be able to see the beauty in love, just in general. Yeah. Next thing, good communication is the key to a healthy relationship. This has nothing to do with romance, duh. But just having good communication is how relationships last, and how you have healthy relationships. Good communication, making sure you communicate when you have feelings, and, you know, making sure you don't blow little mini fights out of proportion and things like that. Like, having good communication directly with the person, especially if you're in a fight, having good communication directly with that person that you are fighting with, instead of going to a billion other people and then creating this huge, massive friend fight, is so much more healthy. I can talk at lengths to the whole friend thing. I've had quite a few friendships, quite a few friend groups in the past couple of years absolutely blow up. So I can talk to this for hours. I will not. But yeah, good communication is the key to a healthy relationship in general. Like, for example, like for romantic things. For example, a couple weeks back, I texted my boyfriend, like, trying to talk to him, and he was really, really busy at the moment. And instead of just not responding for 3 or 4 hours, he texted, "Hey, sorry, I'm busy at the moment. I will text you again when I'm free." Simple as that. Made me not stress, made like the connection better. Next thing is that not everyone is on the same lifetime plan or existence, and we should not compare what we have to what they have. Where we are as a person is where we should be. We should not be comparing to other people. To go along with that, don't pretend to be someone you're not. The right people who are supposed to be in your life will like you for who you are. The people who don't like you for who you are shouldn't be in your life. Period. That's the end on that. And then another one that I learned is that looking into oneself is how you heal. So, and that therapy can help you do that. A lot of people have such notions about therapy that it's only for people who have super bad mental issues, or I'm not depressed, I don't need therapy. But therapy is an easy way to have someone else help you learn more about yourself. And that learning more about yourself and where any issue stems from is how you start to heal that issue. Starting healing means learning more about yourself. Yep. Ooh, this is a good one. In-person physical contact and connection is important and all people need it. There's some statistic about how many hugs we're wired to get a day. I don't actually know the real statistic. I just know there is one and it's way more than most people get. And yeah. And I think that's why so many people talk about long distance relationships being so hard, is because that in-person physical connection and also just in-person connection is so much more meaningful for us as humans than just internet connection. Yep. Another thing, people pleaser, you can't please everyone. That was a hard lesson for me to learn because I am the people pleaser. That Taylor Swift line in You're Losing Me is a little too relatable. Yeah. Okay, now we're getting to some more recent ones. Patience is hard but is needed to get things in life. I am so bad at patience. This is a lesson, if you know me in real life, I've talked about this before. This is the lesson that God has been teaching me recently. If you don't know, hi, I'm Christian. I don't know how many times I've mentioned that on this channel. But God has been teaching me patience recently, and it has been so hard to learn. The past year has been patience on patience on patience. Like, I have needed so much patience in my life in the past year, and it's hard. It is hard. Being patient is hard. But it is how you get the things that you want in your life. You don't just instantly have $1 million and a house and a bunch of kids. You have to have the patience to do the things that are necessary, the little small steps to get those big steps. Ooh, next thing. A life only working isn't living. Work took precedent from everything else in my life. And since I started college, I learned that life is so much more than just school, work, sleep. Life is so much more than that, and I needed that lesson so bad. And the final lesson is that time is limited. This is such a hard lesson to learn, and it's not even just that death is inevitable and that we're all gonna die kind of thing, but it's also time is limited. You only have so many years in high school, you only have so many years in college, you only have so many years living, if you are in college, you only have so many years living with your friends, you only have so many years with your parents. Learning that lesson helps you appreciate the time that you have, and so it's more like a motivation to actually experience life the way that I want to, knowing that time is limited. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the 20 things I learned before 20. I will end this video here. Please like and subscribe and comment down below one thing you guys learned this year in 2024, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Okay, bye!